Kia ora anō. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well today. So I have got a bunch of herbs that I need to jar up and put away in the herbal cabinet. And I thought, well, while I'm doing this, I might as well just turn on the camera and have a bit of a chat to you guys. Just a sort of relaxing meander through some topics. I don't know, I actually have nothing planned that I specifically want to talk about, but I was just in the mood to just sit and chat. So, and I thought, well, I can do that while I am doing this, and yeah. So I wanted to get this done before I go back to work, because these are bone dry and they definitely need to be put away. So that is what I'm doing in this video. I have a coffee that I desperately needed because I've had a morning of it at work. I have a dementia client that I see twice a day. I've been going there for probably a couple of years now. So I go in the morning, get him up, showered, all that kind of thing, and then I go back at night and get him in his jammies and get him into bed. And he's not too bad. If you work with dementia people, especially dementia men, they can get a little bit inappropriate. So he is very inappropriate, but I can deal with that fine. But this morning, he just tried my patience. This morning, he was in a mood this morning. So I was like, good Lord, I need a caffeine fix. I need to do these herbs, and yeah. I thought, well, we'll do it all and have a chat. So in here I have some nettles. Been harvesting a lot of nettles. I go through nettles quite a lot. I use them quite a lot in my practice. So I'll take that one out actually. There's a lot of seed in with this nettle, I must say. And they're not all going to fit in my jar. My jar's quite full already, so I'm going to be... I've got to put it in to a little baggie, and then I'll just top the jar up as I need it anyway. Whatever. Got some nice incense going. Got my coffee. Got my vape over there. I do still vape, although I don't have nicotine in my vape anymore. But it, I don't know. It's just something relaxing. I don't vape all that often. I never take my vape with me when I go out. It's just when I'm at home, and I really cut down on vaping. Anyway, there's a hair in here. There's a hair in here. Where's it gone? So, I hope you're all doing well. And before I kind of start, I just really wanted to say a huge thank you to all the lovely comments that I have been getting on my videos since I have decided to come back to YouTube. I was expecting that I wasn't going to get a warm reception, and I have had the warmest reception, and it's amazing. And it reminds me of how much I just love this community and why I started doing YouTube videos to start with. So you guys are awesome, and I love this place. And for a long time I would come on and I'm not part of the pagan community. I was in a really toxic place. The fact of the matter is that I miss the community so much, and I miss being part of it. Also, I just want to say to Brenda Crozier, if you are watching, I cannot seem to reply to your comments on my videos. I don't know if it's your end or my end. I have looked, and you're not blocked anywhere. I can't even heart your comments, which is really brassing me off. So I don't know. Please know that I'm not ignoring you. I did leave a comment on your last video that you did, which I think was about 9 months ago. Yeah, I'm definitely not ignoring you, but I just can't seem to reply. And I don't know whether it's just because I've got some setting, or I'm a dumbass, which is quite possible. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Yeah, so I will endeavour to get it rectified. But I honestly can't see. Like, I've been right through my channel and my settings, and I can't see where it would be. So I don't know, and I've YouTubed so many videos looking for a solution, and Google, and if anyone's got any help in that regard, can you let me know? Help me out, because yeah, I'm not tech savvy at all. I'm a real thicko when it comes to anything technical. So yeah, just know that I'm not ignoring you. It was really lovely to hear from you. If I'm completely honest, I have really missed you, and I don't want to go dwelling on the past and what happened. That was a long time ago. It's water under the bridge, and onwards and upwards. I say I have managed to reconnect with some people that I never thought that I'd be able to reconnect with, and I'm so pleased, and life's just good on the YouTube front. So COVID-19 in New Zealand, what has it been like over here? I haven't really talked too much about the whole COVID in my country. I do keep an eye on what's going on overseas. I don't keep my eye on online, like I watch the evening news because I'm old and a fuddy-duddy, but I watch the 6 o'clock news. My husband and I watch the 6 o'clock news every night without fail. So I do keep on track. They're pretty good at updating what's going on in the world with regards to COVID. But I will say that I am very pleased that we have got the Prime Minister that we've got. Actually, it's nearly election time over here, and I will be voting for her again. I did vote for her last election as well. Her name is Jacinda Ardern, and she's just turned 40. She's quite young. I think she's the youngest Prime Minister of any country at the moment. And she's actually up for a Nobel Peace Prize for her handling of there's that here. I've just found that here. It suspiciously looks like a cat here. There it is. Got it. Oh, excuse me. For her handling of the mosque shootings that we had over here last year in March. We had this horrendous massacre over here. Actually, you know what? If I squish that down, I think I'm going to be able to get all my nettles in here, which is awesome. I'm not going to get all that seedy stuff. Yeah, so this man called Brenton Tarrant, he's actually an Australian, so he's not Kiwi. He was living here, but he was actually born in Australia and lived a good part of his life in Australia. He's quite young. I think he's around 29. Anyway, he obviously has issues, and he went into 2 different mosques and killed 51 people while they were worshipping. Children and men and women. Evil, evil man. And it happened in my city as well. And I can remember my husband and I were out doing stuff that day, and the police were just whizzing up and down the road, heading towards town, and my husband said something major must have gone on somewhere, and we didn't think much of it, and then it all sort of broke that it was this massacre. And the guy's actually just been sentenced. He got 51 years, which is the longest sentence anyone has received in New Zealand. He will never get out of jail, and I'm actually hoping that he gets shipped back off to Australia, because Australia have got this thing where New Zealand criminals, once they've served their time, they get deported back here. And I think, well, you send our rubbish back. I think it's only fair that we send him back to you, because I just don't see that. What jar am I going to put this in? This is Dandelion Leaf, by the way. I'll put it in this one. I just don't think that we should have to pay to keep this guy. Taxpayer should have to pay to keep this guy in jail for the rest of his life, because I doubt that he will ever get out. So the way that she handled that whole nightmare, she's so empathetic, and she's just, I'm generally very untrustworthy of politicians, but I trust her implicitly. She's so warm, and she's just a nice lady. She just strikes me as being a nice lady. She brought about some very swift gun laws over here because the guy used assault rifles and things like that. So our gun laws have changed, and our gun laws were already pretty strict to begin with. It's quite hard to get a gun license in New Zealand. Like, you can't just go into a shop and buy a gun. Over here, you have to have a gun license. You can't buy ammunition without a gun license. And in order to get a gun license, they do a lot of checks. Family, anything of a red flag, you just won't get a license. They come and inspect your house, make sure that your guns are, they've got to be kept in a locked up area, and your ammunition has to be kept somewhere separate. It's really strict over here, and yeah, it's now even stricter with regards to what weapons you can have. So she's pretty amazing, really. And she's also, she's dealt with a lot because now she's dealing with COVID. And we also had an eruption, a volcanic eruption over here on White Island as well. And that was awful because a lot of people were badly injured and died. And she dealt with that. She's dealt with a lot in the short time that she's actually been in office. She's been our PM, and I think she's awesome. So she's up for a Nobel, and I really hope she gets it. And she's dealt with COVID amazingly well. So as it stands at the moment here, there's lots of stalk in here, which I don't like. As it stands at the moment in New Zealand, everything is back to normal. I mean, obviously you can't, like, we're not getting international tourists, but everything's open. We had a slight outbreak a few weeks ago, and the country was put back into like more restrictions. It wasn't completely locked down. Didn't really affect us here, and in most part it was mainly Auckland. That's where the outbreak was, but they got onto it really quick. And I mean, yes, we're now in a recession and we owe a lot of money because there's been benefits paid to people that have, had to lose their jobs, and businesses being shut down. But by and large, I think they've done a great job. And yeah, I'm really glad that we're so isolated as well. That's something that I'm kind of pretty thankful for. So that's what's happening with us. Everything's kind of all systems go here. And the non-travel thing doesn't bother me because I don't travel. I much prefer to travel around my own country than overseas. I've been to Australia once. My dad, my biological dad, moved to Aussie when I was about 9, I think. He's actually just moved back here, back into my city, which is pretty cool. But I went over there when I was about 11, and I was there for 3 months, and no offence to Australia, but I just didn't like the place. It probably didn't help that my stepmother wasn't a particularly nice person, but it was so friggin' hot, and there's too many dangerous bugs and snakes and things like that, and I'm not used to, we don't have anything like that here. So yeah, I would like to go to Scotland. I would like to, because I have on my mother's side, there's a lot of quite heavy Scottish ancestry. I would like to go to Scotland. I would like to see the Highlands of Scotland. That also could possibly be because I'm a huge Outlander fan as well. But anyway, so yeah, what's the COVID like in your neck of the woods? I know that old Donald Trump had the virus. He seems to have bounced back relatively well. My mother is quite awful, and she's like, oh, I hope he doesn't recover. And I said, that's a really awful thing to say. She said, I bet you there's a lot of people that think the same. But yeah, he seems to have made a bit of a rather speedy recovery. This is Cleavers, and these are a bit of a, goodness, this video is 15 minutes long already. These are a wee bit of tricky to shred. I'm going to be quite brutal with it because otherwise we'll be here all day. And I do have other things to do. I'm also going to be doing a video showing you some witchy crafts that I have been doing. I haven't finished one of them quite yet. I'm hoping to get that done before I head back to work in an hour. It's always the way, isn't it? Like, hubby is out fishing today, and my son is out, and I have the house to myself, and I have to go back to work soon. So it's always the way. Never mind. I was going to do a bit of a walk around the garden, but it's a bit breezy outside, so I opted to do this instead, and this needed to be done. So what are you guys harvesting in the way of plants? I am in the throes of harvesting. Doing a lot of wild harvesting because there's not masses in the garden. I harvested some hyssop from the garden the other day, which I needed. But yeah, been harvesting obviously a lot of stinging nettle, as you can see, and cleavers. I think I'm just about done with the cleavers. I don't think I'm going to need any more cleavers, or sticky willy as it's called here, which always makes me laugh because I'm quite immature. But yeah, what do you guys harvest in you know, coming into the cold months? Is there anything, you know, that you get from out in nature? I need to get myself some barks because I'm out of quite a few barks. I need to go up to the cemetery and get my periwinkle. I do quite a lot of harvesting from my local graveyard, and periwinkle is one of them. So I need to do that. But they're doing a big renovation up there at the moment, and I don't know, there's builders everywhere, and I sort of think, well, I don't know how I feel about wandering around harvesting stuff with a bunch of burly men watching me. Probably think I'm a weirdo. Well, I am a weirdo, but yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. So what else has been happening? Not a whole bunch, really. I've just been, yeah, I've been doing a lot of crafting. This stuff is a friggin' nightmare. It clings to everything. Even when it's dried, it's still quite sticky. And I don't like all that stalk in there. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of witchy crafting and obviously a lot of gardening. The garden is really tidy, which is unusual because it's because my husband's now retired and has the time. Although I must admit I have been pretty good with weeding, but and keeping things on top of things. But yeah, been spending a lot of time outside, and it's amazing what you can get accomplished when you're not on social media. I don't want to keep harping on about that, but it is amazing. There was something else I was going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, I don't know. I'm actually going to pause this and get this done because we're going to be here forever otherwise, and I will come back in a minute. Right, that's all done. I've made a huge mess. There's dried bits of herb literally all over the bench. Oh well. So now that I've done that, I've got some jars that I actually need to put some labels on. Apart from this one, I forgot to print one out for this. This is catnip. I'm actually surprised my cats haven't been in here. God, I love the smell of catnip. I don't know, it's just, it's lovely. My catnip's only coming away quite slowly at the moment, so I've only got a little bit. But when it's in full swing, I'll have masses and masses and masses of catnip. So I need to put some labels on these jars. And what I do, because I do actually have diagnosed OCD, but I do like I'm pedantic about my jars. I went through a stage where every jar had to be exactly the same, and I went and spent all this money on all these jars so all the jars matched, and then I realized that was just ridiculous, so I've stopped doing that. And I get a lot of my jars actually from the thrift shop, because you can always get unusual jars. Like this is from the thrift shop. I love these corked ones. This has got lilac in it, dried lilac from the garden. My lilacs are doing really well this year. I've moved a couple of them too, so they should just get better and better. So lilac, this is a little plant that you will know when I tell you what it is, but this is actually called bruisewort. And let me just pull one out to show you. This is one that probably isn't the best example. This is also known as lawn daisy or English daisy. So you know those little white daisies that you get in your lawn that drive your husband mad, or drive my husband mad? They're a herb, and well, they're a daisy. They're part of the daisy family, and their folk name is bruisewort, and you can use them in your magical practice. So very good for money workings, which is what I am going to be using these for, and also in a witch's ball that I'm going to be making. Not at this stage because the moon phase isn't quite where I want it to be, but I'm going to be using these in that, and I'm also going to be doing a video all about these and weeds in general that you can use in your practice that you can get for free. So I need to get a label for that. I've got dandelion flower here, and also my dandelion leaf that I need to put labels on and names on. So what I do is I just print off on my computer. I just pull up a blank document and I just write down all the names that I want in a font that I like. And this is coffee stained sticker paper. So this is just A4 matte sticky paper. I didn't actually bring one in, just a sheet of it. And I print this on my laser printer. I got a cheap laser printer that I used for my labels for when I had my soap business. I think it was like 70 bucks, and I'm still using the same toner cartridge in it. Those things are amazing. It only prints in black and white though. I didn't want a colour one. I actually couldn't afford a colour one, to be more exact. But anyway, so I coffee stain the paper and I let it dry, and then I write down all my things and print it off. And it prints beautifully. And then, because I like it to look a little bit kind of aged, I get one of these, which is called a dabber or something like that, and some Tim Holtz distress ink. This is in Vintage Photo. When I do junk journals, I use this, although I don't do very many junk journals anymore. But yeah, so, and then I ink up the edges of this. I used to burn the edges, but I just can't be bothered anymore. I'm lazy. I still like it to look a nice, you know, I still like it to look kind of old and aged. I'll take you in and show you my herbal cabinet in a bit. You probably can't see what I'm doing, but I just go around and I just ink up the just the edges, so it just looks a bit old instead of it, you know, just being, you know, stark white. And I just get a ruler and I just cut these out with the paper along the ruler, so it makes it a bit frayed looking. I must do them all on here. Yeah, so I like everything to look the same. I also have a ruler that's got like a textured edge on it that I do sometimes use. I think I might have done that with this one. I can't remember, but anywho, so really quick and easy and cheap. If you're like me and you like your herbal cabinet to look a certain way, then yeah. And if you're also like me and your handwriting is absolutely atrocious, like mine, I can't write I mean, I can write, obviously, but my writing is really messy. And I do like things to look aesthetically pleasing to me. So then, I just peel this off. I no longer have nails. I actually stopped getting my nails done years ago, a year ago, I can't quite remember. And they were really strong, a few weeks ago, and then they just all broke. So my nails look like crap. My hands look terrible because I work with my hands all the time. And they're always in water, or they're washing someone. And so I have older woman hands, but they don't care. So yeah, that's what they look like. And I just think they look nice. I think they look kind of pretty. So I'm going to finish doing this, and then I'll take you in and show you my herbal cabinet. Do a bit of a look-see through there. Okay, so herbal cabinet. This was an absolute and utter pigsty a few weeks ago. I went through the whole cabinet. I got rid of a lot of things that I've decided I'm no longer going to work with anymore. I'll explain about that in a minute, or maybe in another video. I don't know. Depends how long this one is. Anyway, I went through, I composted a heap of stuff, and just got rid of a lot of things that I just don't really resonate with. So this little candle holder, this was a recent find from the thrift shop, and I keep forgetting to get candles for it, but isn't that cute? It's lovely. So I just sit that there. It's in like the candles go up in like a sort of like a spiral. I just think that's lovely. So anyway, all right, so top shelf, there's a lot of, well, this is where I keep all of my resins. I don't really have like an order that I keep things in. I forgot to make a label for that. That annoys me because I forget things. So this is amber resin. These jars are going to go. They're going to be replaced with other things because these are quite old now. So I've got powdered white sage there, powdered rosemary, and powdered catnip. So I'm probably going to keep the catnip and make toys for the cats with, but these two I'm going to compost. I've actually just started my some new white sage plants off from seed because my white sage died. I still have a fair whack of white sage though from my own plant. It died, I think it was last year. I don't go through masses of white sage, so oh, excuse me. Anyway, and then we've got, there's 4 shelves. This was an old china cabinet that my sister gave me, and this black cloth, which looks kind of a bit messy and tacky, what it does, because this has a glass, you know, being a china cabinet, glass doors, keeps the sunlight off my herbs because otherwise they fade and they go gross, and I believe they don't work very well. So yes, I'm not going to run through all of the herbs. This is kind of stock standard stuff that a lot of witches have, I suppose. Most of this, obviously bar the resins, but the majority of this is either grown by me or it's wild harvested. The elderberries are all wild harvested. It's nearly time to make my elderflower champagne, which I make every year. I will do a video on how I make that because it's absolutely delicious. All the barks I wild harvest, elder seeds. This is an interesting, oh my gosh, you can't even see. This is Asafoetida. It's also known as devil's dung, and I prefer the name devil's dung. This smells like you wouldn't believe. It's absolutely foul, but it is bloody great for quite a few different things. But it's very good for cursing. Just gonna say, you don't have to use it for that. You can use it for other bits and pieces. I think if Charming Pixie Flora with her first channel, her original channel, she did a whole video on Asafoetida and what she uses it for. But you can get it at Indian shops. You can now get it at supermarkets where you can over here. I never used to be able to get it at the supermarket. I only used to be able to get it at the Indian shop because it uses Indian cooking. I don't know, like, honestly, it smells so bad, but it is worthwhile. I think it's worthwhile having, and I like to have it in my cabinet. Sulfur is again another one. I actually get that from the horse feed store because it's used in various horse treatments. I've just sown some licorice, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if I can grow my own licorice. I would like to be harvesting my own licorice root instead of having to buy it. I do use that for some stuff for the Morrigans, so it's one thing that I do have to buy, but the majority of this I don't. I grow it or wild harvest it. So black salt down there. There's a few little bits and pieces. This is where I keep my kitty cat whiskers. You probably can't see, but there's a few black ones Manson has kindly left. It's very bright, the light, and there's a big one, white one from Sally. Yeah, so broken glass. It's very handy. That's my moon water. This is rainwater. That I've always got vessels outside collecting rain. We do get a reasonable amount of rain, so that's what's in there. This is water that is currently being brewed. That's not ready yet. Seawater in here. There's some dirt. There's ancestral dirt and prison dirt in there. I found this bottle at the thrift shop ages and ages ago. Isn't it pretty? It's ceramic. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I keep meaning that I need to make an oil to put in here. I presume a love oil would be fine, although I don't really have calls for a love oil unless it's like a self-love oil maybe. I don't know, but isn't it pretty? It's so gorgeous. So that's in there, and charcoal discs and whatnot. And oh, just a tip. Oh dear. Lemon oil. If you get sticky labels on your jars, and you know what it's like trying to get off a sticky label, it drives you friggin' nuts. Lemon oil on a paper towel works absolutely wonders. Just a hint there, because I discovered that recently. But yeah, good old essential lemon oil will get all the sticky residue off bottles like a charm. So yeah, I think that was pretty much it really. I've got some lilac drying it down here. That's not anywhere near dry yet. Oh, and I got this the other day from the thrift shop. This frame was hot pink. It's just plastic, but it's hot pink, and no. So I painted it black, and it looks lovely. And this print was actually in this frame. You can't actually tell, but it's got little roses all the way along here. This was just a plain wooden frame, so I painted that black as well, and I've kept the glass, and I'll put something else in that. But I took the picture out of there, which it just looked all manky, and I put it in here, and I just loved this print. I just loved it. This sort of winter scene. There's a crow up there, so I need to hang that on my wall. And this is another frame that I got from the thrift shop. That's all very dusty. I need to hang this as well. But this was painted this one black. It's amazing how just black paint goths everything up. Like, I think this was white, and it looked really gross. But yeah, just a bit of spray paint. And this is a picture that I had. It hasn't got any glass in here, but this picture is like quite it's in like cardboard. So I loved the vintage kind of Halloween picture, so I stuck it in there, and I need to hang that up on my wall. So yeah, all right, well, thanks for watching this really random, chatty, really long video, but I was just in the mood to chat, so there we go. Anyway, I will catch you guys next time. Take care.